What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Guapo back at again with another video. You guys know the vibes. Back at again, reacting to another fire scary video. I know you guys are liking these scary videos, so we're back uploading another one. Today we're gonna be reacting to horrors from Hispanic TV. From the other, I think the other videos were horrors from the Hispanic internet. Today we're gonna be reacting to Hispanic TV. Check it out, see what we think. This video was made by Is This Carlos. Shout out to Is This Carlos. He always comes out with the fire videos, fire scary videos. my bad. But yeah, shout out to Is This Carlos. Yeah, I think we're gonna react to this video, and yeah, let's do it. Lots of content coming out here soon, y'all. So I hope you guys are ready. We're gonna come out with some just like fire live streams, fire videos, fire content all the way. So make sure you guys are tuned in with all the socials and all that good stuff, so you guys could like keep in tune with all the content. But all this yapping, you guys know the drill. Let's get right into it. Horrors from Hispanic TV. Let's do it.
On November 18th, 2009, one of the most disturbing pieces of Hispanic television would resurface online. A YouTube video titled Paranormal: The Curse Snow White Amusement Park Veracruz claims to contain a lost segment from Extra Normal, one of the most famous paranormal shows in Mexico. But this episode was unlike anything the show had ever aired.
Oh snap.
De Extra Normal llegaron estas impresionantes imágenes captadas en un parque de diversiones en el puerto de Veracruz.
Bro, what is it with Mexico and dolls, bro?
En este video,
Mexico has this thing with dolls, bro, that they love dolls. They be transferring souls into these dolls, I swear, bro. Oh.
The footage begins with a man filming inside Magic Kingdom, a small Disney-inspired amusement park in Boca del Rio, Veracruz.
Snap.
He walks among the statues scattered throughout the park. Snow White, the dwarves, and several fairy tale characters. Everything seems normal until the camera turns towards the statue of the princess. Just for a split second, barely long enough to process, the statue blinks. Its eyelids lower and rise again, as if it's looking straight into the lens. The man's reaction
Annabelle
is
type shit.
He panics, stumbles back, and sprints out of frame.
Are you even surprised though, bro? Mexico has this. Are you even surprised, yo? Mexico has this thing with dolls, bro. That they love dolls. Like every time, but man, it's like a possessed doll, some crazy doll, like a moving figure moving, like a figure moving. That's a doll.
Call one of the most
Something
terrifying
with
clips to ever broadcast on Hispanic TV. For anyone who didn't grow up in a Hispanic household, Extra Normal was essentially the Latin American version of Ghost Adventures, long before ghost hunting was trendy. It premiered in the early 2000s and quickly became a staple of late-night Mexican TV. Every Sunday, families tuned in to watch investigators, psychics, and reporters explore abandoned hospitals, haunted homes, legends of witches, demons, and ghosts, supernatural folklore from all across Mexico. To this day, clips from the show circulate all over YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. For a generation of kids, it was their first exposure to horror, and many never forget it. However, not everyone believes the blinking statue was real. Even fans of the show admits Extra Normal was known for staging moments. The blinking effects could be a simple edit, viewer-submitted footage was barely verified, and the show relied heavily on dramatic storytelling to keep ratings high. It's also possible the man who recorded the clip edited it himself before sending it in, and the episode's original broadcast seems to be lost. Only low-quality, unofficial uploads still exist today, with no official archive confirming its authenticity. But there's other possibilities. Magic Kingdom has multiple videos online showing statues moving, shifting positions, or following passerby with their eyes. Whether these were glitches, illusions, or something paranormal, no one knows. Real or fake, the footage remains one of the most iconic mysteries in Hispanic TV history. 17 years later, the mystery still remains.
Bro, imagine seeing this live on TV. You're just watching the news one night or one morning. You just see this live. I'll be creeped the fuck out. I'll be, what the hell? I mean, I would definitely be creeped the fuck out. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this was real or fake? You guys let me know down below. I don't know.
Great
I guess we'll never find out.
Has a level, and you get free daily cases.
On April 9th, 2008, a strange clip resurfaced on YouTube under the title Ghost in Mexico, La Bruja de Monterrey. But this wasn't just another blurry paranormal video. This was a segment from Premier Impacto, one of the most infamous and sensational news programs in Spanish-language television. For years, Premier Impacto was known across Mexico, Central America, and the U.S. Latino community for its dramatic reports, real crimes, tragedies, supernatural events, and the bizarre. Every evening, living rooms fell silent as the show presented what felt like a highlight reel of Latin America's darkest stories. And in 2004, the show aired one of its most disturbing ones.
Oh.
Los habitantes de una ciudad están atemorizados ante lo que parece ser el ataque de unos extraños seres que muchos aseguran son parecidos a brujas. Desde México, Alejandro Mendoza tiene los impactantes testimonios.
Damn.
Este objeto que flota sobre un cerro fue captado por un grupo de videoaficionados. La difusión de estas
That
imágenes
was
causaron
chilling,
gran
bro. She going for a
conmoción.
little
Fue
cruise.
realmente una suerte que nos tocara en ese momento estar presentes y que hubiera dos cámaras en ese momento también.
O sea, y por ejemplo, ¿por qué no siguió derecho?
Tras revisar una y otra vez el video, Jerónimo junto a los integrantes del OVNI Club Nuevo León comenzaron a notar que aquella mancha flotante lucía como una persona encorvada que vestía una túnica con capucha puntiaguda. Incluso hubo quien aseguró que parecía volar sobre una escoba. Así llegaron a una primera conclusión. Tal vez aquello era una bruja.
The segment opens with shaky footage recorded on a hillside in Monterrey. A strange, dark shape floats across the mountains, an object hovering slightly, drifting against the wind. To the untrained eye, it looks nothing more than a smudge in the sky, but then the camera zooms in. The smudge suddenly resembles the outline of a person, a figure hunched over, wearing a long cloak and what looks eerily like a pointed hood. Locals immediately recognized what they believed it to be, La Bruja, a witch. The clip sent shockwaves through Monterrey. Soon, a well-known group of UFO enthusiasts analyzed the footage frame by frame. They claimed the figure looked like it was riding something, possibly even a broom. To them, this wasn't a drone or a balloon, it was something alive. But the story didn't end there. During the segment, a police officer steps forward with a trembling voice. He explains that while guarding a lot near the local cemetery, he saw two flying beings pass overhead. Both were dressed in black, covered in feathers, and had long claws. 2 years earlier, another officer, Leonardo, had made a nearly identical claim. He was found unconscious and shaking, telling paramedics that a witch had attacked him midair. Even more unsettling,
I think
the
we heard about
description
that
he
in the
gave
last
matched
video
the
of this
hovering
story.
figure seen on camera.
About the last
Eyes
time.
large, cloaked, no broom, just drifting and watching. Medical tests were later performed on both officers. No drugs, no hallucinations, no clear explanation. Monterrey has long been tied to stories of brujas, witches that stalk mountaintops,
Not even
cemeteries,
Monterrey,
and
bro.
roam
All of
highways.
Mexico,
In Mexican
bro.
folklore, brujas can
witches.
take many forms. Human-like silhouettes, birds or beasts, floating black masses, women with long cloaks and glowing eyes. Sightings in northern Mexico go back decades, and many locals still consider certain mountains witch territory. To them, the footage wasn't surprising, it was confirmation. However, skeptics proposed another theory. The object's stiff movement and odd shape suggested it could have been a misidentified drone, balloon, or paraglider, or even just an edited clip. Premier Impacto often amplified paranormal stories for dramatic effect, and many believe the segment was exaggerated, if not entirely staged for viewership. Yet, despite the skepticism, the footage remains one of the most iconic moments in Hispanic television. Segments like this is why Premier Impacto became so infamous. For decades, the show delivered some of the most disturbing stories on Hispanic TV. It terrified children, fascinated adults, and kept families glued to the screen. In many Hispanic households, especially in the 90s to early 2000s, Premier Impacto was unavoidable. Its visuals were intense, its stories dramatic, and its tone unapologetically dark. To this day, countless viewers still remember hiding behind furniture while their parents watched. Whether these segments were exaggerations, misunderstood events, or full production designed for ratings, they remain some of the most chilling pieces of broadcast television in Latin American history. Even now, almost 2 decades later, the truth remains unknown.
Cerro fue captado por un grupo de video.
I think
On
that
April
could be a
25th,
witch.
2014,
What do you guys think? You guys think that could be a witch? I think personally it could be a witch. We constantly hear stories about fucking brujas, tons of witchcraft being done in Mexico. Especially the last videos we've seen like videos about brujas, witches, and all that witchcraft stuff. So I definitely think it could be real, but nowadays you never know, it could be edited too. But you guys let me know below too what
a
you guys
video
think about
titled
that.
A Ghost in the Tigre match began circulating across YouTube. At first glance, it looked like nothing more than a normal soccer match between the strongest and defensor sporting. But then, people noticed something
Oh,
very
shit.
strange.
That was weird.
Es correcto. Ningún amonestado.
The heck is that?
Sacará al arquero, le pega fuerte a la pelota. Vaca, se termina el encuentro de ida, octavos de final, Copa Bristol Libertadores. Domina Solís.
As the commentators analyzed the match, a dark figure darted across the stadium stands, moving impossibly fast. The shape slipped through the rows of seated fans, passed behind them, then vanished deeper into the crowd, all without slowing down. To viewers who saw the clip live, especially on low-quality streams, it didn't look human. It looked like a shadow, a silhouette. Something that shouldn't exist. The broadcast announcer even addresses it on air, a ghost watching the match. Within hours, the clip spread across social media, WhatsApp, and Latin American news websites. People shared it with captions like "Demon captured on video" and "Bruja in the stadium." For some, it was proof of the supernatural. For others, it was a terrifying mystery waiting to be solved. In the original broadcast, the figure appears as a thin black blur. It seems to phase through metal railings and through groups of fans, passing directly behind them but remaining perfectly visible, like a shadow sliding across the stadium. Its speed was unsettling, its movement was unnatural, and that's why thousands of viewers believed they were witnessing a demon, a ghost, or maybe even a witch. In a region where folklore runs deep and where stories of shadows in the mountains or spirits, the footage hit a nerve. People weren't just watching a soccer match, they were watching something unexplainable, or at least something that seemed unexplainable. A few days later, Bolivian television decided to dig into the clip. A sports program called Super Sports 365 compared different broadcasts of the same match, including a high-resolution recording, and instantly the mystery fell apart. In the HD footage, the ghost was clearly a man running down a staircase in the stands. He was simply moving one layer lower.
This is what I'm saying, yo. Lots of these stories or lots of these videos could be fabricated. That it's not even like true paranormal. It's not even real. Like it's not a real sighting. It's just like something like this. But that's why you gotta always be cautious of what you see on the internet. And yeah, do your own research. This is what I was saying, like, bro, like, it definitely like weird, but it's nothing too crazy, I feel like.
Seated fans, creating the illusion that he was passing through their bodies. Because the Fox Sports broadcast was low resolution, the dark figure blended with the shadows behind him. The frame rate, distance, and compression made his movement look jarring, almost supernatural. When shown side by side, the comparison is obvious. The ghost never existed. It was just a fan sprinting to another section of the stadium. Even after being debunked, the video remains deeply unsettling, because in those few seconds in that grainy footage, the figure looks completely unnatural. If you were watching the match live on a poor quality stream and saw a shadow gliding through the stadium at impossible speeds, your minds would fill in the rest. And in much of Latin America, it filled it with demons, witches, or spirits, especially given the cultural weight of these stories. It didn't matter that the mystery was solved, the first impression was powerful enough to stick. Even after the truth is explained, the fear captured in the original broadcast stays with you. And that fleeting shadow in the stands, real or not, remains one of the most unsettling moments in live Hispanic television.
Yeah, well, this one was obviously fake.
Whoa.
But that's
What's
like,
that?
thing about the internet,
In base 44.
you gotta definitely do your research or definitely try to
On
find
April
other videos
1st,
true or not.
2020, right at
Otherwise,
3 a.m., one of Mexico's most
fake.
popular
Fake
TV
paranormal,
channels,
fake
Canal 5,
sightings.
suddenly posted something that no one could
Oh,
explain.
shit, what
a
the
network
fuck?
known for kids programming,
Oh,
cartoons,
hell
and
no. What
family-friendly
the hell
shows
was
uploaded a series
that?
of disturbing, nightmare-like videos to their official Twitter accounts. Just pure uncanny strangeness in the middle of the night.
Oh, hell no. It's got displayed on a kids. This got displayed on a kids show. Oh hell no! This reminds me of that one hacker that hacked that one U.S. News station one and started playing that creepy videos too.
Infamous Red Man video. A distorted humanoid figure, tinted blood red, leans towards the camera and repeats in a glitchy voice, "Time for lunch, munch munch, crunch crunch, munchy munchy, crunchy crunchy." It looks like something pulled straight out of a lost Adult Swim segment. Warped, uncanny, and absolutely not something you'd expect from a children's TV network. And then more posts came. More clips, more unsettling fragments, all appearing between 2 and 3 a.m. and all deleted by sunrise. People who happened to be awake captured what they could before the posts were wiped.
You like them? Good? Yeah. What's the matter? 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 What's the matter?
These are eerie. Some eerie ass videos, yo. What the heck? What are we watching, yo?
To understand why this freaked out so many people, you have to know what Canal 5 is. It's been around since the 1950s, a household name for kids across Mexico and Latin America. Afternoons filled with cartoons, morning shows, sitcoms, Nickelodeon reruns. Canal 5 is the kind of channel parents let their kids watch alone because it's safe. So the idea of this network at 3 a.m. posting content that looks like it came from the dark corners of the early internets, that's what made it feel so unsettling. People didn't know if Canal 5 was hacked, if someone inside the company went rogue, or if something much stranger was going on. During the pandemic, everyone was glued to their phones, so when these posts started circulating, the panic spreaded instantly across the Hispanic internets. The clips posted by Canal 5 were not random. They were distorted faces, uncanny animations, old internet weirdcore videos. Every post followed the same ritual. Uploaded between 2 and 3 a.m., no caption or explanation.
Oh, that one right there. That one creeps me out right there, yo.
Afterward. It was
that
like
one's
someone
creepy.
was intentionally posting when no one was watching, hoping the videos would disappear before anyone noticed. After digging into it myself, the situation becomes much clearer. The videos weren't original Canal 5 creations. They were old internet clips re-uploaded onto the channel's Twitter. The timing and quick deletions suggest someone inside the company was posting without authorization. There's no evidence of a hack, and during lockdown, any strange activity spread twice as fast. My personal conclusion, this was most likely a weird prank or a failed attempt at viral marketing by someone working at Canal 5's local social media team. A stunt that went too far. And because the posts happened during the pandemic when everyone was online, bored and anxious, the reaction was explosive. People genuinely panicked, kids saw it, parents complained, and Canal 5 stayed silent. To this day, they've never officially explained it, and that silence is what kept the mystery alive. Even though we now know the videos were just old, creepy clips from the internet, the way Canal 5 handled the situation is what made it obscure. What should have been a small prank turned into one of the most unsettling internet mysteries in Latin America.
Oh, this one was creepy. This story was creepy.
Before Canal 5's strange 3 a.m. clips in the 2020s, its darkest and most unsettling mystery actually began 2 decades earlier. In 2001, Mexico's Canal 5 aired a short community service segment called Community Service, a broadcast meant to show the names and photos of missing people. It wasn't unusual, it aired often, but one particular image would become one of the most infamous pieces of analog horror in Mexican TV history. This is the broadcast of Selena Delgado Lopez.
HGC Canal 5, al servicio de la comunidad. Pedimos ayuda para localizar a Víctor Gama Tavera, de 20 años de edad. Se ignora su paradero desde el 28 de mayo del año 2000. Esteban Mendoza Juárez, de 24 años, se ignora su paradero desde el 29 de abril. Va en compañía del menor Víctor Daniel Mendoza Rodríguez. Cristian Vélez Zamudio, informe a los teléfonos de Canal 5. Selene Delgado López, de 18 años, se extravió el 22
Well, we heard this story already. I think he put this one in his other video.
Martínez Moreno, de 14 años, desapareció.
Hey, we're gonna skip this story because
the
we heard it
broadcast
already.
looks simple: a still photograph, a name, and the word missing. But people who saw it at the time say the moment aired in the afternoon.
You ready? If you guys haven't, if you guys are new to this channel and didn't watch that story, definitely check out the other video. He talks about that story in the last video. Basically about, well, I don't want to spoil it. Definitely check out my last video. You guys could check it out. But we're just going to move on to the next story because we're not going to replay that same story.
Sometimes right after children's programming, anyone, including kids, could accidentally switch the channel and see things no one should ever have to watch. And this wasn't exaggeration or rumor. People who grew up with the show still talk about it today. A user from Reddit said, "When I was younger, like 12 or 13, I was up late one night messing around on my phone. I paused to look at the TV and saw SBT showing a Mexican program where there was straight up a kid created by a satanic cult in some province in Mexico. And right after that, a video of people killed by a cartel. It was a program
my gosh.
like a news show. and it was super weird to see the presenter being all professional, while there were literally people uncensored on the screen. That's the kind of impact Alarma TV left on viewers. Not suspense, not storytelling, just raw horror, broadcast casually, sometimes while families were eating dinner. Alarma TV originated from the notorious Mexican tabloid Alarma, known for printing graphic crime scenes since the 1960s. The TV version followed the same formula: real crime scene footage, accidents and aftermaths, disturbing reports from across Latin America, presented with a calm, almost emotionless tone. And despite the backlash, the show became extremely popular. It was talked about on buses, in markets, at school. Everyone knew someone who had seen that one episode, but controversy followed it everywhere. Parents protested its air schedule, media critics accused it of exploiting violence, officials questioned how this could legally air. Still, Alarma TV stayed on air for years. You can still find full episodes online, but you shouldn't. Even with content warnings, even knowing what's coming, the footage remains deeply disturbing. Alarma TV didn't rely on the paranormal or analog horror editing. The horror came from reality itself, shown with the same tone as daily weather reports. And that, more than anything, made it unforgettable. Alarma TV remains one of the most disturbing programs to ever air on Hispanic television.
That is creepy. So this TV show would show a graphic stuff on TV. That's crazy. I'd be surprised though. I feel like lots of TV shows probably did that shit back in the day, because it was probably not normalized.
August 4th,
they didn't even think
2009,
about
a
it.
young woman named Gabriela Rico Jimenez appeared on Mexican television. She was standing outside the Fiesta Inn in Monterrey, rambling, frantic, and terrified. Her shirt was ripped, her voice was shaking as she shouted names of powerful politicians, businessmen, and accusations no one expected to hear on live TV.
Oh, well, actually, I think I've seen this clip online before. They're eating humans. Oh, yo, you guys think she was lying, yo?
In the clip,
Chad, you guys think she was
Gabriela talks
capping?
about being imprisoned by wealthy people, high-level murders,
You guys think she
and
actually saw
claims of
that?
cannibalism among the elites. During her outburst, police approached, restrained her, and escorted her away. That broadcast would become the last time anyone saw her publicly, and that's how the mystery began. Shortly after the clip aired, blogs began to circulate a shocking claim.
Yeah, what
Gabriela
happened to her?
Rico wasn't just a random woman.
Did
She
she
was a
disappear?
famous Mexican model. Runway
Oh, she
shows
was a
in Paris
famous
and New
model.
York, magazine covers.
That makes it even
high-profile-
more crazy, bro. She was a famous model? Yo. No. You know what they say, bro? They come after models and shit.
Events. But here's where things start to feel strange. If you
Ooh.
search her name online, there's nothing. No portfolio, no modeling credits, no runway photos, not a single archive.
What? Bro, they completely wiped her off the internet, wiped her off the face, made sure she don't even exist no more after those wild claims.
Magazine cover. It was as if her entire career had been wiped clean off the internet. If she was truly a model, why erase every trace? Why did the news not mention her status at all? Why did no fashion agency ever acknowledge knowing her?
NK
During her
Ultra
broadcast,
project?
Gabriela drops names, big names, most notably Carlos Slim, who at the time was the richest man in the world. She accuses multiple people of murder. She claims she had been taken to a police station and mocked. People were being killed, elites were eating human flesh, and that she had escaped some kind of hidden operation. Then she was taken away by police, and the clip abruptly ends. Reddit threads, Spanish forums, conspiracy blogs, everyone wanted answers, and theories only got darker. One Reddit user wrote, "I had this coworker, Dominican woman who was obsessed with Los Satanicos, a cannibal cult that she claims operated in broad daylight in most Mexican small towns. According to her, they were some kind of voodoo church who made human sacrifices and trafficked people. She would talk about them all the time in casual conversation, like at least once per shift. Stories like these, exaggerated or not, gave Gabriella's cannibalism claims a horrifying cultural context, because cannibal lore in Mexico runs deep. Historically, certain pre-Hispanic groups, like some Aztec warrior groups, practiced symbolic ritual cannibalism, usually in highly specific ceremonial circumstances. This wasn't cult activity, but religious ritual, and it ended centuries ago. In modern times, however, tales of brujos, nahuales, and satanic cults became popular in rural legends. Stories of secret groups eating flesh or stealing children were told as cautionary tales, not documented reality. These legends still circulate today, especially in small towns, giving Gabriella's claims a disturbing mythology-like truth, even if the truth is far less fantastical, because not everyone believed her story. One Reddit user bluntly said, "Reading about this lady makes me think it was genuinely just a lady having a psychotic episode. There's literally nothing about her on the internet other than this incident, which does not suggest she was a supermodel. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't put it past them, but this seems like actual schizo stuff. And honestly, when you look at the evidence, this explanation becomes harder to dismiss.
I don't know,
when
man.
I analyzed the original transcripts and broke down the timeline, a much clearer picture appeared. No credible source ever proved she was a model. No fashion agency ever acknowledged her. No runway archives list her name. The original broadcast introduced her simply as a young woman, not a public figure, and the erased model career rumor seems to have been started with one sensationalized blog, then spread unchecked. But the biggest discovery came years later. In 2017, a Mexican news outlet reported finding a 29-year-old woman named Gabriela Rico Jimenez wandering the streets at dawn, confused and unable to remember where she lived. She was taken to social services. The name matches, the age matches, the mental state matches. Even a professional face comparison tool found a very high probability that she was the same woman from 2009. If that's true, then Gabriela didn't disappear, she didn't get silenced, she wasn't part of some cult expose. She was simply a woman suffering a severe mental health episode, whose breakdown happened to be televised. Here's the truth based on everything we know. Gabriela likely was not a model. Her accusations were almost certainly delusions. Her disappearance wasn't a cover-up, she simply lived outside the public eye, and the 2017 report strongly suggests she survived. But here's the unsettling part. Even with all the evidence, the broadcast is still deeply disturbing. Her fear looked real, her panic felt real, and her insistence that powerful people
like, damn,
were
is she
watching her
lying or not, bro? Because she kind of looked for real, like.
And the truth, we will never know everything
Kind of, why would she lie about that? Unless it's an episode, you know?
In 2006, during the broadcast of the Play of the World Cup, a massive World Cup special shown across Mexico, something aired that many viewers still describe as one of the most disturbing live moments ever captured on Hispanic television. The Play of the World Cup was Televisa's flagship World Cup analysis show. It featured comedians, sportscasters, athletes, and celebrity guests. It was upbeat, fun, and watched by millions of families every week. Eugenio Derbez, already one of the most beloved comedic actors in Mexico, was a recurring guest. By this time, he had already starred in iconic shows. He was known as a jokester, someone who could take any awkward moment and turn it into comedy. So when producers brought on Tony Camo, a Spanish hypnotist and mentalist, everyone expected something funny, silly, and harmless. Nobody expected what actually happened.
Tratándose de alguien con tantas expresiones, con tantas personalidades. Adelante, Tony. Es todo tuyo.
Cucharada de su propia sopa.
Ya le tocaba una.
No, pero lo que coinciden todos es que todos me dicen, por favor, trátame bien, trátame bien.
Sí, es que da nervio.
No. Bueno, la pregunta importante. No se puede hipnotizar a alguien en contra de su voluntad, en contra de sus principios. Yo dejo bien claro que ya antes tuve la oportunidad de hipnotizar a Eugenio en un show. Y aquí, antes de comenzar, pues he estado con él un tiempo para que el proceso sea mucho más fácil y más rápido. Pero mi pregunta siempre queda ahí. ¿Estás dispuesto? No puedo hipnotizarte si no te dejas. ¿Estás dispuesto a todo? Sí.
Oh, snap, he's about to get hypnotized, yo.
Sí. Bueno, ahí vamos, ¿de acuerdo?
Si quieres los dejamos solos.
No. Ahí vamos, ahí
para
vamos.
Que esté más tranquilo.
No, participe, participa es mucho más bonito. ¿De acuerdo? Duerme. Ahora 3. Duerme, tienes sueño. Duerme profundamente.
I always have a hard time believing these though, cause like especially him, cause he's an actor, bro. He could be acting this whole thing.
Ahora sigue dormido, porque cuando yo cuente 3, Eugenio, tú vas a despertar. Y cuando despiertes, tú no vas a tener la edad que tiene. Tú vas a tener, por ejemplo, 15 años. Por lo tanto, aún no has comenzado a hacer tu vida artística. Es más, cuando despierte, tú vas a tener miedo a salir en televisión. Tienes miedo escénico. No te vas a atrever, te da vergüenza, te da timidez.
You
No
see,
eres
he's probably
capaz.
just telling him the role that he's about to play, and then he wakes up and he plays it.
Venga, venga usted para acá. Usted, venga, 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 venga. Venga, venga, venga. ¿Usted cómo se llama?
Eugenio.
Venga, venga para acá.
No,
Sí,
yo no.
ayúdeme.
Ayúdenos,
Javi,
ayúdenos.
venga,
No, no,
venga.
no, 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 no.
Usted, trátame para acá. Venga para acá, venga para acá. Usted, póngase aquí. Póngase aquí. La cámara va a estar ahí. ¿De acuerdo? Perdón que me pase por delante. Nosotros nos ponemos aquí. Usted comienza. Un chiste, el que usted quiera. ¿De acuerdo? ¿Está usted o no?
No, yo prefiero no hacerlo.
No, usted quédese aquí.
No, yo prefiero
Tiene que hacerlo, por favor.
Quédese.
No, venga para acá.
Venga, venga.
No, ayúdenos.
Me va a salir muy mal, me va a salir mal.
No se preocupe. Grabamos ya, señor, el conteo, por favor.
Vamos, 3, 2, 1.
Le dice, hay luz allá arriba y
¿Qué le dijo?
le dice, hay luz allá.
Nervioso. ¿Qué le dice?
What?
Ándale.
This is so awkward, yo, bro. What's going on? Bro, like, this is so fake, bro. You cannot tell me this is real, bro. I don't believe none of this, like, at all. I'm sorry, I don't. This is not, I don't believe none of this at all, bro. This is a joke. This is a joke, bro. This is a joke.
Está llorando, mira todas las
This
lágrimas
is a
ahí.
joke.
Tony Camo hypnotized Eugenio
I'm
Derbez,
sorry,
telling him
y'all,
to
chat.
behave
I don't
as
believe
if
this
he were
last
eight years
story
old,
one
explaining
bit.
that Derbez
I'm not
had been
gonna
very
lie.
shy as a
I
child.
think this one's
When
funny, if
Derbez tried
anything.
to tell a simple joke under hypnosis, he completely
I
broke
don't
down.
believe
He
it.
lowered his head, covered his
I think
face
this
like
one's
a
capped. This one
terrified
gotta be
child,
capped, yo.
and then in
This one
full
gotta be
view of
capped.
the cameras, he wet himself. Hosts and colleagues rushed to comfort him as if he were a small child. His
He
breathing
peed
was
himself.
erratic, his hands trembled. He seemed unable to look at anyone or speak. Even when soccer legend Hugo Sanchez appeared as a surprise guest, Derbez, still in trance, looked completely overwhelmed. Then the show cut to commercial, and nobody knew what to make of it. I've watched the clip over and over, and from what I saw, this didn't look like a staged act. His body language
me, it
screams
looked
real
staged.
panic. The people around him weren't laughing. They were tense, confused, uncomfortable, and Derbez himself never joked about this afterward. At the same time, he is an actor, a brilliant one, so could it have been a performance? Maybe. But if it was one of the most convincing, disturbing performances I've ever seen. Hypnosis, especially in stage settings, can sometimes trigger emotional regression or panic attacks. I think it's entirely possible that Tony Camo pushed him into a state that Derbez couldn't control, emotionally or physically. But there's always the question, was it real or was it cleverly staged for TV? Even knowing hypnosis can have real effects, the sight of someone so famous and beloved losing control like that, it's unsettling. Was Eugenio Derbez genuinely hypnotized, stripped of control, and traumatized on live TV? Or was it a perfectly performed act designed to shock millions and boost ratings? We may never know. All I know is that real or fake is by far one of the most disturbing and uncomfortable moments ever broadcast on Hispanic television.
I don't know, yo. I think that last story was fake. I'm not even gonna lie. That last story gotta be fake. W video though, is this Carlos? Shout out, is this Carlos, always coming up with fire videos. Knowing what we know about the Epstein's files, that shit Gabriella was yelling. Yeah, that's what I was saying, yo. Now that what we know about the Epstein files, today is April 22nd as I watched this video. I don't know about that video. That one, I don't know. That one could be real. But you guys let me know what you guys think, what your guys' favorite story was. I'm gonna wrap up this video. It's already a pretty long video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys give a like, subscribe too. And if you guys have any video suggestions, anything you guys want me to react to, make sure you guys reach out. I'm going to drop my Discord down below, and my Discord and my YouTube. You guys can send it my way. And yeah, that should be it. I hope you guys have a blessed day. And stay smooth. Peace.